Alright, folks. Today, I don't really feel like going over any sort of schoolwork. So today, I'm just gonna talk about whatever. Let's see, just before recording this, I just got done finishing, or I just got done watching an episode of Invincible. This was the episode I just watched before this was episode 5 of season 4. So I just finished watching that episode before recording this. Ooh. The ending, I don't think I've ever seen anything so gruesome. And that's saying a lot. I've seen a lot of gruesome stuff in shows and movies.
It is my pleasure.
But that, it's like, damn. Where have I seen something like that that's similar enough? Yo, I'm not... Oh my god. Guys, listen to me when I tell you this. I'm not joking you when I tell you that just now, this very moment, I pulled the gold Solgaleo EX card from TCG Pocket. This very moment. I'm not joking you. This exact moment. What's sad, though, is that I pulled it on my sister's game. In front of me right now, I have my sister's phone. Because I'm recording this at like 11:30 at night, so that means I won't be done until like 1:30 at night. Well, I am doing a couple things that, well, I'm not going to be able to do after I'm recording. After I'm done recording this, so I'm doing it now. Some things I do on my sister's phone is I open 2 packs on her TCG Pocket. She doesn't care. She doesn't play the game. I open packs on her phone. And I'm trying to go over... I'm trying to chase that Decidueye 2-star EX card, that full art one. So that's also why I've been opening packs on my sister's phone as well. And I just got the gold card. Literally this very moment. So yeah, a couple things that I do on my sister's phone, or at least I try to do it daily, whenever she's not using her phone. So on TCG Pocket, I open 2 packs. And then, the same things. The daily gift in TCG Pocket, the daily missions. If there's a wonder pick, that kind of stuff. And if I have time, either I trade myself cards from her game that I don't have yet, or I share something. I share a card that I don't have yet from her game. So I have yet to do that. I just opened both packs on my sister's phone, and I still need to go into Pokemon Go. Well, it's kind of too late to do a daily Pokestop spin on my sister's phone. So, yeah, in Pokemon Go, same thing. I try to do a couple of daily things. The biggest priority is doing the daily daily special trade. And, small chance it'll become lucky. And also, something I try to do on my sister's phone is doing the best buddies on her phone. Because any hundos or 0% IVs, that's what I'm best buddying on my sister's phone. I am recording, right? Okay, good. And because I got a 0 IV costume Ditto in my sister's game, I'm trying to best buddy that on her game. So that's what I'm doing right now as I'm recording this audio. I am working on the Pokemon Go and TCG Pocket stuff. I just don't feel like going over schoolwork today. So, how's everyone doing? I'm recording this on April 1st, so happy April Fool's Day, everyone. But for those of you in the know, you'll know that April 1st is something else to me. Because today, on April 1st, is Billy's birthday. Today in particular is Billy's 19th birthday. Billy was born April 1st, 2007. So today marks 19 years since he was born. And next year, which will be 20 years since he was born, that will also mark 20 years of me being a proud dog owner. That's kind of crazy to say. 20 years of being a dog owner. I wonder if the mic picked any of that up. My dad and his friends are shouting in the basement. Well, how's everyone doing? So, as of me doing this right now, this very moment, a couple of things that are going on. Mimikyu has debuted in Pokemon Go. Mimikyu is a Pokemon that we have wanted in Pokemon Go for a very long time. And, would you believe, Mimikyu is something that was teased for Pokemon Go for a very long time. Correct me if I'm wrong, isn't like somewhere close to the beginning of the game? Close to the beginning of Pokemon Go? We had a Mimikyu clothing item, kind of teasing Mimikyu coming to the game, and it only just now debuted in the game, so 10 years into Pokemon Go. You want to know what's crazy? Think about it this way. Pokemon Go debuted in the year 2016. You know what else debuted in 2016? Pokemon Sun and Moon, where Mimikyu debuted. Which means it took 10 years for Mimikyu, since its debut, to make it into Pokemon Go. It took the entirety of Pokemon Go's lifespan to debut Mimikyu. Now think about what I just said there, because that pretty much just sums up every Pokemon's debut in Pokemon Go. You know, Pokemon Go's lifespan up to that moment. Anyway, so yeah, I'm still just working on the Pokemon Go stuff on my end. So another thing that's happening, so like I said, today is April 1st. Tomorrow, April 2nd, is going to be the day, as of this moment, as of me recording this very moment, tomorrow is going to be the update for Pokemon Home to become compatible for Legends ZA. I've been waiting for this for months. You know, I had to stop playing Pokemon Legends ZA because my box spaces were filled up. I did a Living Dex, I did an Alpha Living Dex, and then the rest of the box spaces were just taken up by all the shinies I've caught. I literally ran out of box space, so I had to stop playing the game. Otherwise, if I found a shiny, I couldn't catch it. I have no box space. So I had to stop playing the game so that, you know, I don't risk finding any shinies. But the thing is, though, like, at least I wasn't... Yeah, you know, at least I was occupied. What? At least I was doing something in that time, I guess is the best way to say it. Because they did release Fire Red and Leaf Green for the Switch. And ever since then, and to this very moment, I'm still shiny hunting for a shiny Charmander as my starter. I really, really, really wanted to get a shiny starter, at least before the ZA updates, and I failed. I failed at that. Because once home updates will be compatible with ZA, I can deposit all my Pokemon, make space, and then continue playing that game. Because I still need to grind in hyperspace to get the rest of the legendaries to spawn so I can shiny hunt them. So I'm gonna stop the hunt for the shiny starter, and I'm gonna continue with that. I only found 2 shiny legendaries so far. I only found Latias and Latios shiny. I still need Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion shiny. So those hunts are gonna take a little bit of time. And I really wanted to get a shiny Charmander in Fire Red before the update. Just cause, well, once the update happens, I'm gonna resume my hunts in Legend ZA. Who knows how long it's gonna be until I get the shiny Charmander, let alone continue the hunt. So I've been shiny hunting for a Charmander for over a month, and I know, hunting and shiny hunting in full odds, 1 in 8,192. I haven't even scratched the surface, you know. I could continue to not get the shiny for another couple months. That's a very real possibility. And I know these hunts are long, but like, damn it, I really, really hoped to be done with it so I can move on when the time comes. Oh well. You know, I've seen people online. Once Fire Red Leaf Green came out for the Switch, they quickly got the shiny starter. Me, on the other hand, I'm still hunting here. I haven't even played the game. My game has logged 1 minute of playtime. Because I haven't played the game. I'm still trying to get a shiny starter. But I've sunk over a month of time shiny hunting this starter. I'm not gonna give up, you know. I'm gonna continue to do it until I get it. My friends borderline had an intervention with me because of how much I shiny hunt, how much time I waste. So yeah, the update for Pokemon Home is happening in like 8 hours and like 20 minutes from now. Cause there's maintenance for 12 hours and it should end by 8 AM and it's 11:40 right now. You know, I haven't even done the dishes for tonight. Tonight, I decided to take a brief nap after dinner. It was very brief, I barely slept at all, but it was something. And then, when I came downstairs, I watched the Invincible episode, and a couple of little things afterwards, here I am doing this voiceover. You know, after this one posts, I believe there's only 5 more Korok videos to go up. So we're almost done with the Koroks. Can you believe that? Time flies. what else was I talking about? Oh yeah, you want to hear how recently I almost got into 3 car accidents on separate occasions? I'm not trying to say I'm a bad driver, you know? I'm not at fault for any of these. And I couldn't help but notice a pattern between all 3 times. I'll explain that at the end, or at least later on. So the first time, this happened like almost a week to 2 weeks ago. So, I was driving across a parking lot. You know how parking lots have the space where cars drive across, and then there's the spaces where you actually park? So, you know, you're supposed to slow down, potentially stop, to see if there is a car driving by as you exit the area of the parking lot where you actually park the cars, right? So I was driving by, and then this guy driving his car doesn't slow down, was about to just zoom out, and was about to T-bone me. Thankfully, we both stopped in time. I should have honked him. I didn't honk. I didn't honk any of these people. I probably should have. So that was the first time, or the first of 3 recent incidences where I almost got into a car accident. This dude almost T-boned me. Alright, second time. This happened a couple days ago. Yeah, so I was driving. I was about to do a left turn at a light. So, cars were coming, the light turned yellow, and I was about to make a left turn. And then this car, even after the light turned red, just zoomed right past as I was getting ready to go. As I was actually starting to make my left turn. Again, I didn't honk. I did have to hit the brakes. Yeah, so this lady just, I don't want to say ran a red light, you know, when it was my turn to make a left turn. And then the third time, once again, was in a parking lot. This time I was just driving by, and then, you know, this guy who parked backwards, so the front of the car was facing outwards, all he had to do was drive out. You know, he didn't have to back up, turn, and then leave. So I was approaching, this dude, just without looking, just hits the gas. You know, really quick, gets out of the parking spot. And I could not help but notice a pattern, a common denominator between all 3 incidences. The drivers in all 3 vehicles were brown. Borderline, you know, dare I say, Indian. Now, is that a little bit racist of me? You know, a little bit racist to say? Oh, please. Don't give me the stereotype. Don't tell me, you know, that there isn't the stereotype where, like, Asians can't drive. You know? But based on my 3 separate experiences recently, it's like, kinda can't help but feel like maybe brown folks can't drive. And, well, I'm sure you've seen the memes of Indians borderline invading Canada. I shouldn't say it that way. Indians, how do I say this? Excuse me. Well, Indians flooding Canada, taking over Canada. You know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, they really are everywhere. Trying to think what else is there to talk about. You know, now that I have a Switch 2, I don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? It's still in the box, I haven't opened it yet. Because I'm kind of thinking, like, how exactly do I want to go about this? Do I really want to transfer all of my Switch 1 game data to the Switch 2? I don't know if I necessarily do. But, you know, if only there was a way, kind of like the old ways of gaming, you know, like on the 3DS. Or just really any gaming console beforehand. Where, you know, the game data isn't on the system, it's in the game cartridge. Kind of wish that was the case. Because, you know, what if sometimes I genuinely do want to play on the Switch 1 compared to the Switch 2? I kind of wish that the data was shared between the two. So, like, if I make progress in a game on my Switch 1, I can carry over that progress on the Switch 2. But, like, I don't have to go through this hassle of constantly transferring back and forth. It just auto-syncs up. If only that was an option. Wouldn't that have been nice? And, well, there is one game that I am considering buying for Switch 2. And that being Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I'm not gonna lie, that game is intriguing me more and more. Certainly more than Mario Kart World. Don't get me wrong, I want to play Mario Kart World, but it's like, not really that excited for it. I'm particularly not excited to spend all that money for it. What is it, $110 here in Canada? It's bullshit, I tell you. So let's see, there's only a handful of games, I've mentioned this before, there's only a handful of games for the Switch 2 that I would want to purchase. So, Mario Kart World, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Kirby Air Riders. Wasn't there another one? I already mentioned Sonic. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. What else was there? That's Switch 2 exclusives, I should say. Obviously, Pokemon Winds and Waves when the time comes. Is that it? Just those? And I know Sonic Racing Cross Worlds isn't exclusive to Switch 2, but like, I may as well just buy it for Switch 2, like buy the actual Switch 2 version, instead of just buying Switch 1. And don't you feel that this is kind of greedy of Nintendo? When you buy the second console, the next console, you would think that the game upgrades would be free, right? I'm not even talking like DLC content or additional content locked behind an entire system, kind of like Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I'm talking like the game upgrades, you know? Higher frame rates, better performance, all that. You would think that would just come free with the goddamn console you already bought, but no, you have to pay like $10 to upgrade it. To me, that's some bullshit right there. Which is why which is why I am saying that I will not purchase a single, a single Switch 2 upgrade for any sort of money, except for maybe Scarlet and Violet. You know, Scarlet and Violet, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I don't know if that costs money. Knowing Nintendo, probably. Tears of the Kingdom. So, like, anything that doesn't actually add any additional content, I'm not spending $10 to upgrade Pokemon Sword and Shield. No. In my opinion, it ran fine beforehand. I don't need that game to run at 60 FPS. So like games where it actually is beneficial for the paid upgrade like Scarlet and Violet, or I don't even think that's paid. I can't remember now. Some are paid, some are not. I don't remember which one's which. But at the moment, let's assume everything is paid. Yeah, something like Scarlet and Violet, I feel like, first of all, I feel like it should have came out in that state, but clearly that's not the timeline we live in, so whatever. Nothing we can do to change that. Like, yeah, that one seems like it's kind of worth the upgrade. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, that's additional content, so fine. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, a smidge bit of extra content, so also fine. But anything else that doesn't actually offer extra content, that is just like an FPS upgrade or, you know, performance upgrade, no, I will not be purchasing those. Well then, why are you buying the Switch 2 version of Sonic Racing Cross Worlds? I may as well, you know? I don't have the Switch 1 version, I may as well just buy the Switch 2 version. Like, if I already own the game, I'm not gonna spend an additional $10 just to upgrade it. And you know, speaking of which, I realized that I could just buy Sonic Racing Cross Worlds for, say, the PS5. It'll run way more excellently on that system. But a couple things about that. One, I don't have a PS5. Two, well, the novelty of being able to play the game on the go, I feel like that's a winning pitch right there. Yes, I realize that if I buy it on the Switch, I don't get any sort of, like, the achievements as I get on PlayStation, but, like, who cares? I don't care about that. And you know what's sad to say? You know how the price for the PlayStation 5, the Xbox consoles, like, they all just went up? Because of this, I think I might skip out on the PlayStation 5 altogether. I'll probably just wait patiently until like the PlayStation 6. Which would really suck considering I will be missing out on GTA 6. Believe me, I want to play that game badly. But $1,000 for the PlayStation 5 before the price increase. No. That's before the price increase. So, I think I might have to skip out on the PlayStation 5 altogether. I mean, there's also very little exclusive games to the PlayStation 5 at the moment, so it's like, I'd buy the whole console, I would at most buy like maybe 3 games, maybe. Let me think. What exclusive games are there to the PlayStation 5 I would buy? Well, not Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Well, maybe exclusive isn't the right word. What games in general would I buy for the PS5? I would buy Mortal Kombat 1. I know I could just play that on PC, but like, I don't wanna. Hypothetically, if I were to buy the damn console, I may as well buy the game for it. You know what I mean? So, if I were to have a PS5, I would get MK1. I would get GTA 6 when that comes out. Maybe Astro Bot to give it a shot. Oh yeah, Invincible Versus. You know, I do wanna dabble in that game, but I feel like I need to look up a list, because at the moment I'm kind of blanking out. But sadly, I think I may have to skip out on the PS5 just because of the damn price. Like, I don't want to buy a console, an entire gaming console, just for like 3 games. That's just not a good idea. So, I may just wait until the PlayStation 6. I mean, that's kind of what I did with the PlayStation 4. I didn't buy a PS4 until way far into its life cycle. I kind of didn't intend to buy a PS4, even though I knew I was missing out on a lot of games. I only bought it because when Spider-Man came out for PS4, they had a Spider-Man skin for the PS4, and I'm just like, yo, that is beautiful, I need it. So I bought a PS4 Pro because of the Spider-Man alt. The world is in a sad state, is it not? And I even bought the Switch 2 when it was cheaper on sale. Man, so like, the price increases for PlayStation and Xbox, if they ever go on sale again, it'll be just back to the original price. That's not a sale. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to skip out on the PlayStation 5 altogether. Also because the fact that I was also considering this too, long before the price increased. So because I didn't already own a PS5, you remember back when the PlayStation 5 first came out? And then later on they introduced a PS5 Pro, and the price for that was ridiculous. I was kind of thinking to myself, well, I don't have an original PS5. If I were to get one, I may as well get the Pro. You know what I mean? But when the Pro came out, it was digital only. No disc version. And I'm just like, I don't want that. I want my physical games, thank you. And I'll be honest, I haven't really kept up to date with PlayStation releases just because I don't have the system myself. So if there is a PS5 Pro disc version that came out, yeah, I would have gotten that eventually. But because of the price increases, I don't think I will be getting them. Okay, give me a second. I need to give my sister's phone back to her. Well, I don't know what to say. Oh yeah, so considering I have like over 20 more minutes of commentating to do, let me actually look up what games on the PlayStation I would actually buy. I mean, I'm sure there's a huge library to browse through. Maybe I should filter by, like, exclusives. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there's, of course. While not exclusive, these things just popped in my head. Spider-Man 2, I don't have that game. I actually don't even have Miles Morales. I only have the first Spider-Man game for PS4. So, those two Spider-Man games. There's also Marvel's Wolverine as well. Wait, is Game Freak's Beast of Reincarnation gonna be on PS5? Because, you know, I would give that a shot too. Oh, what about Stellar Blade? That's a sexy game. There's an idea. But I don't have a console, so it's gonna remain an idea. What about Death Stranding 2? A lot of games I could buy if I had this console. Oh, look at that. I also see on Google's page, Indonesia earthquake today. That's a trending search. Huh. Yep, no surprise. There's a big-ass list of PlayStation 5 games. Well, let's go through them. And how nice, they're in alphabetical order. Oh, Marvel's Avengers. Remember that game? You know, at first I wanted to play that game. I wanted to give it a chance, because I like Marvel. I like the Avengers, but, you know, given what the game actually was, never mind.
Barbosa's Fury is ready.
Black Myth Wukong. That game doesn't really interest me. I know it had high praise when it came out, but it just doesn't interest me. Oh yeah, the casting of Frank Stone. But that game is kind of like a... Well, there's not a whole lot of replayability for that game. cord. I almost thought that said Crazy Kitchen. No, that says Crazy Chicken. There's like 5 Crazy Chicken games on PS5. You know, I never played Cyberpunk 2077. And I don't think I'll play it on the Switch too. Doctor Simulator. Escape the Glitch 2 Backrooms. Never heard of that one. Oh, right! Five Nights at Freddy's, those games. Help Wanted, Security Breach. You know, I'm a big Five Nights at Freddy's fan. I always have been, but lately, the franchise just became not really for me anymore. Ever since the shift from the point-and-click games to 3D games, the story just lost me. Considering what an absolute mess Security Breach was, not only the way that the game ran, like it was clearly unfinished, but also the plot, the lore, the implications, it was such a mess. Help Wanted 2 was just adding plot to Security Breach. Security Breach DLC Ruined was okay, but then Secret of the Mimic, I just couldn't even get past that. I couldn't even get through the game. Like, I just don't like the 3D era of Five Nights at Freddy's. It's no longer 5 Nights at Freddy's. These ones are, it's now One Night at Freddy's. I'll still look up lore videos, but like, the games for Five Nights at Freddy's just don't interest me anymore. Yeah, so like I said, Invincible Versus. I do want to play that game, but I don't have the goddamn system, so I can't. I hear that game is going to have an original storyline. Knives Out Extreme? What's that? They made a game based on the Knives Out movies? I could also pick up a Metal Gear Solid game, you know. Oh, Marvel's Midnight Suns. I remember being excited for that, but then it turned out to be some sort of like card game. It's like, oh, never mind. I have Mortal Kombat 11 for PS4. Sadly, MK1 is PS5 exclusive, unless I want to play it on PC. I just don't play good with keyboards, okay? I'm better with controllers. I know I could play computer games with a controller, but I don't know how to set that up. There is also Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, but I can easily just buy that for PS4. You know? Those old-ass arcade games just ported over. I don't need them to run on the PS5, you feel me? I haven't played a Need for Speed game in a very long time. Same thing with Ninja Gaiden. I haven't played a Ninja Gaiden game in a very long time. Couple of Persona games. I can just play those on PS4. Power Wash Simulator. Okay, now I feel like that is better as a PC game. Red Dead Redemption. I do have that game. I never played it. I picked it up because it was on sale. I still haven't played it. I know nothing of Red Dead. I hear it's good. You know, one day. I hear Red Dead 2 is a prequel. Yeah, I don't see too many games I would buy on the PS5. Like, a lot of the games I said, majority of them I probably would not buy. Like, there's a handful of games that I absolutely would buy. Mortal Kombat 1, Invincible Versus, GTA 6. Like, those ones are an absolute yes, I will buy. Or I would, if I had the console. I see here this long-ass title. Yeah, you want those games, right? So here you go. Now, let's see you clear them. And then, the sequel. Yeah, you want those games, right? So here you go. Now let's see if you can clear them, too. What is that? Long-ass title. And now I've made it to the bottom of the list with Zombie Soup. Some sort of game called that. So, I just looked up like an entire list of probably every game on the PlayStation 5. Not too many I would buy. So I think I sadly will probably skip out on a PlayStation 5. Don't blame me, blame Sony. They're the one raising the prices. And if you want to go a step further, blame the economy. Things aren't getting cheaper. You know that, folks? Things just aren't getting cheaper. They're only going to get more expensive. There is no going down. There's only going to go up. Which is sad. I don't know. I'm only talking about Nintendo and PlayStation. What about Xbox? I haven't bought an Xbox in a very long time. I had the old 360. Xbox... yeah, I haven't really paid attention to any, like, Xbox exclusives. And I kind of don't think there's really any that I would actually buy an entire Xbox to play. I don't know, in my opinion, not only the economy, but also the gaming industry is kind of in shambles right now, considering that they're not really releasing... First of all, they're not really releasing a lot of good games. Well, I don't want to say good, but a lot of, like... You know what I'm trying to say? A good number of good games that really warrant buying the console. And two, the prices, man. Remember when gaming used to be a pastime? You just spend a couple tens of dollars and you were able to play a video game, have some fun. You spend a handful, a couple of hundreds of bucks to buy the console system. And then you buy you spend a couple of tens dollars, like $50, $60 maybe. Now it's like $1,000 consoles and $100 plus video games. Life is sad. And like I said, prices are only going to go up. They're not going to go down. You know, the sooner you guys accept that, the sooner people accept that, at least I think so, the sooner people accept that, the better. Instead of having this, like, false hope that prices will go down. Now, I would love, believe me, I would love to be proven wrong that prices will go down. But I'll believe it when I see it. Believe me, this is something that I think everyone would love to see me be proven wrong on, you know? Please, by all means, gaming company, prove me wrong and show me the prices going down. But I just don't believe that's going to happen, ever. Prices will only go up. And at this point, I'm kind of just waiting. I'm kind of just waiting and waiting to see. I don't want this to happen, but given our trajectory, I kind of feel like it's going to happen whether we like it or not. So at this point, I'm kind of just waiting to see, to watch for myself the gaming industry kind of just fold in and collapse on itself. Just because prices are too high, no one's buying anymore, well shit. We have no choice but to either lose sales, lose profits, lose money, or lower the prices. Like, think, if we reach a point where it just gets too expensive, genuinely people are no longer buying, well, the gaming industry may just collapse, genuinely. You know, a couple years ago, I thought that would happen with Hollywood as well, the movie industries. I thought Hollywood would collapse and then we would see, yeah, Hollywood completely get screwed. But no, it seems like Hollywood really got their shit together and it seems like they're on a good path now. At least I hope, but you never know. Oh, now I really just don't have anything else to talk about. I told you I would just talk about whatever today. Well, about 4 minutes left. Well, I really ran out of things to talk about.
Rivali's Gale is now ready.
Well, I actually ran out of things to talk about. So I guess I'll just get ready to end this for today. Alright, well, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.